Hey everyone, it's June Lucal, and actually you're like barely seeing me, right? But not that you want to see me. Anyway, I'm being very casual today in my tie-dye shirt from the summer. So I'm here and I'm going to demonstrate a couple cards, and hopefully you'll learn something or get some ideas, be inspired, learn some things about some promotions going on, a whole bunch of things. So just a little background. I am an art teacher, a licensed art teacher in Ohio, and I've been a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator for about 18 years. And I am doing these every 2 weeks. I believe the next one, I should have checked before. I think it's like September 23rd or something. It's in 2 weeks. So, yay! A few of my favorite people are here. We got James and Nancy. Hopefully more people will come. Even if you watch this after the fact, I'm really happy that you're doing that. So first of all, we're going to be doing, basing 2 cards on Painted Poppies, which is really a cool set. I did this once a long time ago, and I could have come up with more ideas, but I only came up with 2 tonight. So, but before we really get started, I wanted to tell you about a couple things that are going on, because you know, everybody likes a deal, right? I know Stampin' Up! Products are a little on the expensive side at times, but here's your chance to earn things a little bit, or to, what's it called? To purchase things on sale. Who doesn't like that, right? They're expensive because they're quality, and it's also helping pay for me and my expertise and that kind of thing. So anyway, I'm gonna make you see my desktop and I'll show you a couple things. Okay, so there we go. It's getting a little worried there. I changed some things around. I cleaned. Really needed that. Just too disorganized, and still feel like I'm not organized enough. And since I have to put my phone in after the fact, I can't set it up ahead of time. It's a little bit of a pain that way. So anyway, thank you for bearing with me. So here's the stamp set. But you know what, actually, like I said, I wanted to show you a couple things before we do that. All right, first of all, weekly deals. Okay, new products every week on the 1st, 8th, 15th, and 22nd of September. Products and discount vary. Get the most up-to-date information at stampinup.com or by scanning this QR code. All right, so this week I printed out some of the things. All right, so we have Splendid Day paper. You have, I don't know what the percentage is, but that's $3 off. Craft note cards, $2 off. Oh, I love these. The brushed, boy, you can't say that very fast. Brushed brass butterflies. Oh my gosh. Classic matte dots. Let's see, the butterflies are $8 and the matte dots are $6.30. That's not bad. These I just bought, of course, full price, but these are $8.10 right now. Summer Shadows dies. The craft paper, let's see, guess we got cut off a little bit. Gift boxes are $8. Craft paper is $4.80. We've got the round and square brads. The linen, oh, this was cool. I was gonna, darn it, I should have shown you how to do this. This is neat because it's actually sticker paper on the back, and it's kind of like cloth, like cotton, like very, very thin, but it's got adhesive on the back, and so it's really cool, actually. And then we have Snowfall Accents Puff Paint and Pale Papaya Open Weave Ribbon. So if these are all on sale until, what, the 7th? Because the next batch of items comes on sale on the 8th. All right, so another thing that you can save on, well, I don't know if you're necessarily saving on it, but a fun thing you can do, I guess, if considering all you get in this package, it's a savings. So, all right, Spooky Treats is coming up for the paper pumpkin, and that is until September 10th that you can sign up for that. So These are kind of a sneak peek of what's coming up. So we have the kind of Halloween themed one coming up, and then we have, looks like 2 kind of Christmassy looking ones in after that. So you can, what Paper Pumpkin is, in case you're new to that, it's a subscription, or you can prepay that too instead if you want. You get, it's really fun to get packages in the mail, right? So you get a little kit every month, and gosh, I think it's like $23 right now. But everything, it's all inclusive. It's everything you need. It's got the stamping block for the first time, and then it's got the ink and all the pieces parts for like 9 cards, 8 to 9 cards. So there's a lot you can do with it, and you can use the stamp set that comes with it forever. So that's a neat thing, and it's just fun to get a little surprise in the mail, something special for you. You know, sometimes we don't treat ourselves very much. All right, and the last thing, I wanted to invite you to the World Card Making Day. We are doing a free virtual event on October 1st, and the time is 2 to 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. So that would be, I believe, 4 to 7. That is for everyone, not just demonstrators, which is very cool. So you don't have to register, although if you do, I don't know if there's an advantage or not to registering early, but you can go to that website, to our website, stampinup.com. I'll see if I can get some kind of link. I'm not sure if they'll offer it or not, but you can come join us and do cards along with that, or you can just watch. It's fun. I like watching that kind of thing. When I go to the Stampin' Up offers these all the time. They're very professional. So, okay, let's see. For demonstrators, I should say. They don't. This is the first one I've ever seen for customers. So, oh, how do I get the free product? I'll have to read more about that. But it looks like you could get iridescent pearl basic jewels embellishment in your cart when shopping for your bundle. All right, so there's a possibility you could get something for free. I need to look into that more. I'll try to put that on the website, on my website, youcanstamp.com. All right, so let's get started. If you have any questions, please email me. It's june@youcanstamp.com. Or ask it on the chats, because I can't always answer, but I will try. I'm not, my little setup here is very crude, and it's just about at my eye level, so I have to like, I don't know, it's an awkward position to look in there, but I try to every so often. So, all right, so here's the stamp set we're going to do. And there's a lot of things. I just really like this one. I like this one. Not a fan of this one, and the leaves are, I haven't really used them, but you know, you could. So let me, and I like kind of the splatter one, but I didn't use them on this one. So, all right, let's get started. I have 2. So one is going to be some of my favorite colors, yellow. So, I don't know, well, of course, James knows. Most of the people on here know that James used to work for a garden center, and they were throwing out a lot of seeds, and I ended up sorting through all the seeds that they were throwing away, and because they were expired, they can't sell them legally. So they had California poppies, and this year James threw them in the garden, and they're beautiful. They're the most beautiful orange I've ever seen. Now, the closest thing, and I have to say I really like this color, it's Mango Melody. And it's not quite as orange as I feel like those California poppies are. But what's interesting, I did look it up just to see, and you know how some, like almost all the examples of poppies seems to be red poppies with black centers. But the interesting thing about California poppies is they didn't have the black centers. They were more of the same color petals, like kind of a orange on orange type of thing. So what I decided to do is kind of feature that. So I'm going to stamp with Mango Melody on 2 different, these are going to be yellow and yellow orange. Okay, so I'm going to stamp with 2 different stamps. In my sample I only stamp with 1 stamp, but I think that this will be great. All right, so I'm sorry, I'm gonna look at my sample. All right, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna stamp with the bigger, rounder one, whoops, on the yellow, the Daffodil Delight, sorry. And then I'm going to stamp with this one that's kind of a little bit of a 3/4 view on the Mango Melody. All right, so then what I want to do is actually, it's my new pad actually. The other one was doing something funky. I think it had that kind of fungus that it gets sometimes. But I got a new one and it's so cool. All right, I have a water pen and I just bounced the inside lid so that I got some ink off of the pad and onto the lid, So I'm going to take this and I'm going to take just a bit and start it in the center and almost like I'm cleaning my brush and bring it all the way out to the edges. All right. And so I'm going to have, it's sort of like adding a shadow. Hopefully you're seeing this all right. I'm gonna do this a little bit more, and I'm gonna make this a little darker too. All right, and then from the center, without adding more. So the most intense part should be about right here in the middle. All right, not loving how this came out. I don't know if I can, kind of sketchy, but okay. And then I'm gonna do that with this too. So I'll even start a little bit more in the center and then kind of just wipe it off, like it's, use it all up till it gets thinner. And then I'm going to put a little darker edge here. Alright. And then that. I'll put a little darker edge there. And then, alright, now the good news is I do have to fussy cut these, but I already did the one. So I think I can just get away with just fussy cutting the other one, and this one will be like Martha Stewart's casseroles that she puts in the oven, and voila, it's done instantly. Okay, so that gives a little bit more, you know, three-dimensional look. Here's a little bit more too. All right, and then I'm going to use this for one more thing, but I'm going to close it up for the moment. All right, so here's my instant one that I already cut out, and then I'm going to cut this end out. Now, I love these paper snips. Love the point on them. You cannot do this with giant scissors. Not very well, anyway. In fact, I may have mentioned this at one point, but my now 22-year-old son needed some scissors for his architecture class, and he asked for a pair of these. So I got him some. They're great for stuff, cutting things out, and I know he had to do that sometimes. So all right, so this will be kind of a little bit of a three-dimensional looking flower between the extra shading I did and the view, and I'm going to actually pop this one up. Okay, now I wanted to show you another trick. It's using a marker. Now I want to get the stems, okay, and the best way to do the stems is, here's the one I want to use. Okay, now it already has one, and it's actually smaller than that, but not too badly. I could use that and then just put the flower maybe on top of that, that would be one way to do it. But what I ended up, I wanted to do that, but I didn't want 2 of these droopy ones. I thought that would just be like too many red flags for people when they're looking at it and say, oh, that's a stamp. So there is a trick around that though. If you take a marker and use the brush end, all right, I'm going to put that on the end. You need to do it at an angle though. Remember, if you do it like this, you're going to break the tip, the fibers at the tip, and then you'll have a very hard time ever getting another nice end. It'll get all fuzzy basically. So I am only going to ink up using the side of the marker, this straight stem and leaf. Okay. And I'm going to use that in a minute. So I'm going to start with that. All right, I'm going to put that right. I'm going to do it a little bit at an angle. All right, so here I have a stem. Now I want to do this time this same stem. So we're going to have an odd number. You know, I love odd numbers. It looks best in art, just a rule of thumb. And then I'm going to actually do this droopy bud. Okay, now I'm done with the marker. All right, and then you can huff on it if it's been drying for a bit, but I hope it didn't. It did a little bit. Well, I think it's okay. All right, so now I have, hopefully that's not too obvious that they're the same, because those leaves are right next to each other, but c'est la vie. All right, then I could also do, while I'm out, I'm going to use some words. So there is a stamp set that kind of was coordinating with this, but I actually wanted to use a new one that I have. Here's the one that coordinates with it, which is great. It's called Peaceful Moments. There were 2 poppy sets in the last Occasions catalog. Not this past one, but the one before that, I believe. And these are great sayings, but I just wanted to do something different. This is Framed Occasions. All right, and I'm excited to use that. So this one is To a Happy Future Ahead. Nice and bold. And I'm gonna just put that, so it's almost like the bud is drooping and looking at it. We're pointing at it. Okay, nice and bold too. All right, now, this is relatively simple from here. Now we're going to, I'm going to use the brush end and decide like kind of a 45-degree angle and color this in. And then if you want another little shadow, you can use the, you know, the whole idea of when you're using markers or Crayola markers, remember those when you're a kid, if you overlap them, you had stripes. And so you can use that to the advantage. You can make a little bit darker edge by doing like kind of a second coat. Okay, so I know those are the same height, but what I'm going to do is do a little trick. Oh, and that's why I wanted to keep Mango Melody around, is to make that a mango orangey bud. All right. So now let's put it together. Now I am just about out of that, so maybe I will use this. All right, so I'm gonna kind of getting low on this too. Guess I need to put in order. Maybe I'll get some of that free, well, it's not free, but it's discounted with the weekly deals that's going on right now. All right, so this is going to have just a little 1/16 of an inch border, but that's good because it's almost like my outline. Okay, and then that's going to get on top of that. And this multi-purpose glue, I could have popped that up, but I hate taking the backs off of all those. That multi-purpose glue is a little bit, goes a long way. It's very sticky and strong. So there's that. Okay, so I'm going to put this kind of up here, and then this one's going to go down here and sort of like kind of, see how that's going to get blocked? This is going to cover a little more of that, but you're not even going to know. Can you tell that one's missing some stem here? I don't think you can. So just as long as you're planning ahead, I think you'll be fine. All right, so I'm going to attach this one flat, or kind of flat, because I kind of like how the edges are curling up a little bit. All right, and I'm going to, and that's going out of the picture frame. That's going to kind of, your eye kind of goes to that, which is kind of one good thing because it will bring your eye through. It'll have a good flow. All right, so I'll put 2 here, and we'll pull those off. All right, and then that's going to go right there. So I also want to make sure like the center of the flower is right above the stem, and that seems to be. All right, so there's my first card. I could add some bling. I could add one of these brass butterflies. That would be nice. How about that? All right, so I've got your take your pick tool, and maybe we could just have a butterfly out here. How about that? All right. Okay, so moving on. All right, so the other one that I wanted to do was kind of unique. I was going to do red as a third card, but like I said, like all poppies seem to be red in my example. So I wanted, they're not actually all red, they just seem to be the most common ones. So I wanted to be a little not common. All right, so what I would like to do is to use my new decal edge dies, which is, there's a whole bunch of them that come with it. And I'm going to use 3 of them today. Now, decal edge, in case you're not aware, the reason it's called a decal, it goes with the word decal and mold. When you're making paper, you have a mold, which is kind of like a screen, and then a decal goes over it and kind of frames it so that there's not, the pulp doesn't get all over the parts that do not have any drainage. So the decal is just basically the frame that goes on top of it. And as a result, the edges are not straight like guillotine cut. They are kind of thinner and what's the word? Not uniform. They're uneven. There we go. I don't know why that word didn't come to me. That's kind of silly. All right, so I am going to, first of all, I'm going to make I'm going to use this. Oh, that's right. I think that this did not fit through that. Just a hair too small. Well, I could cut that down and then I could use that. That is barely. Okay. So let's see if 3 3/4 would do it. If I didn't cut this too small, that would be terrible, huh? Just barely made it. Okay. Unfortunately, this is going to make a big ka-chunk sound because I'm going to be pulling it through straight. What I try to do, if you can help it, you know what? I am going to do it on the bigger one. It's not going to make the ka-chunk sound, and that seemed like that was right on the edge. So I'm afraid it's not going to cut if I do that. So here's my ancient big shot. Now I want to put that through kind of at an angle because otherwise it goes ka-chunk and isn't good for the dies, I don't think. Which the sound is just alarming. I don't think it is, you know, gonna break them or anything, but it does sound terrible. So all right, here we go. I'm running that through. See, no horrible sound, otherwise it goes, well, like I said, ka-chunk. All right. Oh, I should have run this through with this. Well, I guess I could. All right, I'm going to run that again through, even though I already did that. So I'm going to make that, oh, Maybe I'll make it more at this end. Okay, I want it to be closer to one long edge than the other. All right, here we go. All right, since I have it out, so here's my piece that I'm interested in, that right here. But I do want to do one more thing while I'm here. So here's a scrap that I was practicing with, and I want to make another, like a same color frame on top of this. All right, but so it's just a slightly bigger one. So I already had that one cut out. I'm going to do another one, just slightly bigger. So see, that made a little bit of crack. All right, so, and then I just want this little frame. Okay, so now I should have 3 pieces, and this is Flirty Flamingo, is the color. Okay, so, now, what I also want to do, I looked, when I did my sample card, I didn't like how much I could see of the sides, so I am going to actually score this, because I want it, this is a little bit of an experiment. I think it'll work though. All right, I'm going to score it on the edge there. Hopefully that's enough. I'm going to line this up over here at 4 1/4. Oh, see, I could have, well, it's a little closer to one edge than the other. So here, if you can see, I've lined this up there and right there. So I should have parallel lines when I do this. Although look at that, that's so much more. So maybe I will do this slightly in. All right, now I will do this 4 1/4, lining up here and here. All right, and then I'll do over here. Okay, and that I'm going to fold in. Now it's just to hide all the junk on the side, so we'll see how that goes. All right, so that's my little frame. Now I want to use the poppies, the smaller poppies. That, by the way, is going to go right here. Okay, so, all right, let's do, I could glue that on now. Why not, right? Then it'll be ready. Okay, so I just wanted a little bit of more of a convincing frame there. Okay, can you see how I did that? All right. Oh, hey, Diane's here. Great. Yay. All right, so thanks for coming, everybody. All right, so I'm going to use this stamp, and I'm going to stamp it on vellum. Yes. Let me move this. All right, so I have vellum and I have some white cardstock. So now vellum you want to use stays on. All right, and I did not ink this up recently. I have ink, which is not. Oh, there it is. It was laying down on the job. Okay, so here, I like to do this every so often, and I don't know if this is right or wrong. This is how I do it. So let it sink in a little bit. You can just, I'm not even squeezing it right now. I'm just kind of moving it around. All right, so StazOn's permanent ink. It's more of an alcohol-based one. All right, and it dries very quickly, which is why you want to do this. You're gonna be ready, kind of have everything planned out. Okay. And make sure that's all inked, and then I'm gonna put this right here, basically in the center. Kind of okay. All right. And then I'm going to stamp off on this scrap paper over here, and I'm going to have to wash this later, but I think it's good enough that I'm going to stamp on the, I'm going to use this soft succulent. I'll explain here and more in a minute. So I want something more in the background here, because what I wanted to look is this field of depth. Basically, some things are going to be close to you, some things are going to be farther away. Oh, you know what? I wanted to do this. I'm going to stamp off on this. It's kind of an experiment. All right, and then I'm going to do this there. Ooh, that might be too light, but, well, we'll see it. Okay. It'll be fine. All right, so now I want to keep this around because I'm going to actually use the blending brush. And I want to have kind of a green background using the soft succulent. So just in the background, rather than do all the stems, this is just going to be how I kind of quickly add some green in the background through the vellum. All right, and then now I'm using, as I mentioned, this is an alcohol base. So these are alcohol markers. So what do you think is going to happen if you use alcohol-based markers with alcohol-based ink? Anybody know? Same thing that happens when you use a yellow watercolor marker after you used your black watercolor marker. It smears, okay? So here's a trick though. This is vellum, you can see through it. So I'm flipping it over. Now I'm gonna color this kind of how I would anyway, where I put a little bit of the darker color for these blends. I'm gonna do a little bit of the darker color where that seems like there'd be some shadow. And then I'm gonna go back over it with the lighter version. Now, these are like so delicate, these petals. So I'm kind of doing it quickly, but it'll be fine. A little bummed about that one, but it's fine. All right, now I'm also going to do this one while I got the marker out. So I'm also going to color this in the background. Probably should do a little bit less because I want things to look, they're like a little farther away. So some things are going to be close up, some things are going to be farther away. All right, so then I'm going to go over all of that. Kind of, we have the lighter tone, the darker tone, and then I kind of go smudge it in the middle. I do like another extra layer. Remember how I just did that with that green leaf? I did an extra layer to make a shadow. It's the same idea. I'll just put an extra layer on the where there needs to be a medium value. Okay, so these are the ones that are going to be in the background. And then I got to do the ones on the back of this vellum. Oops. So because this is a water-based ink that I just used, where'd it go? The soft succulent? This is water-based. That is why it is not blurring or blending with my alcohol-based, because they are just kind of like, are not compatible, if that makes sense. All right, but this would be, which is why I'm doing it on the back. Okay, thanks for your patience. This is actually won't be too much longer. Yeah. So hopefully everybody had a good Labor Day weekend. Ours was uneventful. That's okay, we need that kind of thing every so often. It rained, and so between that and my cleaning up this office area, my allergies went nuts. And then it kind of turned into a, I don't know, what's it called? A sinus infection, I think. So, all right, so this is going to be in the little window, and I want that to be popped up a little bit so that you can see through the vellum. You can see these back there, but they're back there, clearly back there. All right, so these are going to kind of curve in, and all right, I'm going to use the Stampin' Seal with my silicone mat so that I don't get it all over my surface, because this doesn't stick to the silicone mat, just to the paper. All right, so that's going to go be my little frame for this. All right, and that's going to go right there. Okay, beautiful. All right, then I'm going to put some dimensionals on this. Oh, hold on. I want to put some words on this. Forgot about that. All right, so I'm going to, you could use StazOn if you have that out, but I like Memento ink better. Now, again, I could use that stamp set that I told you goes with it, but I wanted to, you know, shake things up a little bit. So I'm going to use this one from Happiness Abounds. Okay, and I'm using Best Wishes because I have best wishes for everyone, and it's just kind of a easy way. And this is a nice cursive kind of small word stamp. Okay, all right, so there I have it on my little frame. Now I'm going to put some dimensionals on it. Now I'm not going to put them too close to the edge because I'm going to put these dimensionals kind of close to the inner edge, not so that they're visible, but I'm going to try to attach the that edge down. It's sort of an experiment. Didn't have enough time to completely figure that out ahead of time, but I think it'll be, oops. I feel like there's a very good chance that this will work. So if I didn't, I probably wouldn't do it. I'm gonna put, it's okay if this edge, oh, except I want to put, I'm gonna leave that open. You'll see in a minute. All right. I'm gonna just probably fine, but just gonna do that. Okay. Now, I have soft seafoam, no, sorry, wrong, soft succulent. And that is going to, I also want to put, let's see, I could actually basically attach that. That's going to go kind of in between. All right, I also have, this is one of the reasons I chose soft succulent is because I wanted to have the matching satin ribbon. I'm going to cut it close, but not exactly. And, all right, this is going to get, okay, and then I'm going to put some of this, maybe. All right, I really love this, anything that rolls on the nice big ribbon here. All right, oh, now it's stuck to my finger. Okay, so this is going to go somewhere like that. All right, and then I think I will put a little of that there. And, I wonder if I could pick that up. No waste. Did it? Yep, look at that. Perfect. Wow. Couldn't have planned that better. All right, so this should go here. And then this is going to go right here. So what I will kind of get an idea of where that goes. Somewhere here. Okay, that seems okay. It was a little crooked somehow. And I can't tell if it's the white or the ribbon. I'm gonna go with that. All right, and then I'm gonna trim this down. Okay, and this is gonna go on this. So I'm gonna see if I can do this. There. All right, so, oh, I didn't take any of these sticker backings off. Well, I can try to get some of them off. Even if I don't get them all off, I think that the ones in the center are the most important ones, so. I like to do things the hard way. Not really. But. All right, I think that's most of them. And then let me get this last one. Oh, look at me. I did it. I think I got them all. Maybe one more. Nope, I did get that one. All right, so then I can just attach that. All right. So, slightly crooked, but I think I'm the only one that would notice that. All right, so there I have it. I have a little bit of something non-paper, and then I have the this little window with some vellum, and it looks like some other things that are farther behind. And yeah, so all right, I know that probably seemed more complicated than it was worth, but maybe it gives you an idea. Maybe you just take this as a jumping off point. you know, it's always, basically, that's how I do it. I just take other people's ideas at times. Sometimes I just fool around with it and I'm like, well, I don't like how the sides look. In fact, here's how the sides looked. I was like, not sure I like that. Not the end of the world. Totally fine. I just was being picky today. So I thought, I'll try something else. And so I did. And I kind of like it. It doesn't look nearly as obvious, I don't think. So, all right, so there is, there's the 2 cards that I made today. All right. Okay, well, thank you for joining me. I hope that you will, again, believe on September 23rd and take advantage of these sales. Not always on sale, so that's, you know, take advantage when you can. And then if anybody's ordering less than $150, be sure that I would appreciate it anyway, if you used this hostess code, because all the smaller orders come together and help me afford to do other, demonstrate other products for you. So, and hopefully some point I can do some in-person things. I'm still looking for someone else for a stamp club member, and I hate to lose that altogether. However, I am going to be starting a master's degree pretty soon, so maybe everything happens for a reason. Anyway, thank you for joining me, and I hope to see you again soon. Have a great week. Thanks. Bye.